Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome back again. Another day here, bright and early in the morning. I don't know what it is, 6 o'clock or so. Just getting a little bit more done on the 59 here. Been doing all kinds of little stuff, getting things taken care of so that it's good for the winter here. We already had our first snow and wicked layer of salt put on the highway. So I already had to take her and rinse her off. Everything was just white. They don't use salt here, they use potash, which is mined in Saskatchewan, and I don't know if it's worse or better than salt, but it sure makes everything a mess. So I'll just show you what I've been doing, what I got done. We are just under 3,000 kilometers on it now. Pretty much trouble-free other than that P300 code that I've been trying to track down. So anyhow, as you can see, I have my spare tire mounted underneath now. I ordered the factory GM winch off of Amazon to fasten it up here. I wanted to get it out of the bed. And then I had to do a custom, I don't even know if you can see it here. No. The roll-up mechanism for it on these GMs used to come out through the bumper. And then there was a tube that directed the crank for letting it down. Once I let the truck down, I'll show you what I've done there. The other thing I've done is I put some rubber mud flaps on the back just to keep the rocks and salt and everything from filling up the cavities in the back here and causing stuff to rust out. And then up at the front, I put a mud flap back about 6 inches from where the fender drops down, and on the inside here I built inner fenders out of puckboard just to keep everything from building up where the hinge and everything goes here. That was one of the biggest reasons that you get all that rust in the support here, is because everything off of the tire would pile right into it there. So the other thing I did up front, I got the original GM plastic skid plate on here. I had to build a little bracket off of the original rad cradle, but that thing bolted in there like it was meant to be there. So the other thing I got done is I ordered a bunch of this, not sure if I mentioned it before, this crown rust protection. It's like a lubricate, an oil type coating, and I sprayed 3 bottles of it into the frame and all of the tight areas where salt and stuff can lay. So I'll just let her down here and I can show you what I did in the to let the spare tire down and what's been taking place under the hood. Okay, so what I had to do for the spare tire winch to be able to let it down, because this bed, the floor has been raised up 5.5 inches because of the difference in the frame between the 03 and the 59. The winch actually sits right here. I built a rubber mount underneath that stops it from rattling, and I took a piece of 3/4 inch square tubing and I cut it corner-wise in about 3/4 of an inch, and then I clamped it in the vise and made it smaller to fit exactly on a 1/2 inch drive extension. That just pops right in there, and I can use a ratchet to lower the spare tire here. Worked out really well, got no rattles or anything, and it's nicely hidden there. So that took care of that. I did put some tie downs in the bed as well. Figured I better get that done. I've got a tonneau cover I'm going to build. Pretty much exactly the same design as we put on that 65 swept line. So up front here, just let me pop the hood. See if I can do this one-handed. Probably not. How about I just set you down here and you can look in the windshield. Here we go. Let me grab a light. Making you seasick here. So up front here, I did replace all of the coils. Working on that P0300. That didn't work. Okay. Was an easy job. It didn't help with the P0300. I still had exactly the same thing. So then I got to looking a little bit closer, and down in here, I was trying to find a leak, a vacuum leak on the intake gaskets. I was using some propane, and there's a foam dam underneath the front end and the back end of the intake manifold, which won't allow you to get in to check the bottom of the intake. And while I was doing that, I found out that the valley pan, the lifter galley, there's an aluminum cover there where the knock sensors go through. It was leaking motor oil out the front, so I had to take it out anyhow. So I ordered intake manifold gaskets, the valley pan gasket, and I changed all of that. And now, touch wood, so far the P0300 stayed away. I've got the odd misfire, but it's running really, really well. So I got that all done. Then the first test drive I took, it started puking antifreeze everywhere, and when I was changing those gaskets, I had a blanket over here and I was laying on the top here, and I think I displaced my upper rad hose. Okay guys, I just wanted to do a little chat here on this location I'm at. This house over here is referred to as the witch's house. For some reason, I'm not quite sure. The story I was told, this house was moved from the ghost town that I live in to this location. It's about 7 miles from the ghost town of Dollard, Saskatchewan. And it was moved from just up the street from where I live to here, and the people went from living in town to being farmers. And then something happened, I don't know, it ended up being haunted, or so the story goes. But this house, we get people stop in at our place from all over Canada. We've had a couple from the States that come up, and they're looking for this house to take pictures. It's been photographed by all kinds of photographers. So I like to come out here, especially when the sun's coming up like it is right now, and get some cool pictures. So that's what these pictures are all about. Okay everyone, that'll do it for this little update video. Not real long. What I've got done on the GM 59 here, and a little useless history on this ghost town in the middle of nowhere where I live in southwest Saskatchewan. So hopefully the wind wasn't blowing too much in that clip out by the witch's house there. But anyhow, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and all the great comments, guys. Take care.